Hey you guys, I am Lisa and welcome back to Lisa and Company. Now this is where I usually start the video by asking you to subscribe and telling you all the fun things we're gonna do today. But I need to do a little time out here because I am completely overwhelmed this week. I've been asking you to subscribe and I've been asking you to help me grow this channel, and boy, oh boy, did you guys respond. We are having an amazing couple of weeks here at Lisa and Company, and I could not be more grateful. Every time I check to see how the videos are doing and see your comments and your feedback, I am completely blown away. I was actually over on my personal Facebook one day talking about the amazing people that I've met over on YouTube and the way they're responding to this content, and yeah, this YouTube journey has been incredible and it's all because of you guys. Okay, enough of that. Hey, welcome back to Lisa and Company. Today we are doing 5 trash to treasure, upcycles, thrift flips, whatever you want to call them. This is one of my favorite kinds of DIYs to do. And see these candlesticks right here? These are literally trash. So I figure everyone's definition of trash is a little bit different. So I kind of ran the gamut here from actual trash right through to stuff I've picked up at thrift stores to stuff I found around the house. So with all that, why don't we just get started? Now these candlesticks that look like, well, finished project are what I like to call fully started. These are a project that I started, didn't like the direction they were going in, and stopped. So today we are going to finish these. I've pulled them out of my trash to treasure piles and let's get them done. But first, I want to show you where they came from and why I am saying they are literally trash. Over a year ago, when this was just a baby YouTube channel, I found this old headboard literally leaning against a dumpster, and I figured I could probably make something out of it. I used the main part of the headboard to make my Lisa and Company sign that you see in my studio, and I saved the legs off of these, I cut them down, and I got them ready to become candlesticks. For some reason, I painted them yellow. I have no idea why. I am not sure what I was thinking. Regardless, we are going to finish these off today and they are going to be beautiful. Now I'm taking these Dollar Tree rounds because they are rough on the sides. So I am just going to use some drywall spackle to fill the holes and do those sides. And while they're drying, we're going to paint these candlesticks. Once these guys are dry, we're going to take our Dollar Tree sanding block and give it a good smooth sanding before we paint these and add them to the old headboard / candlesticks. Now in my last video, I asked you guys how well this Dollar Tree fix-all worked, and you guys all told me it was great. So we're going to give it a whirl today. We're still going to use the hot glue for that instant hold so we can keep working, but we are going to give this Dollar Tree fix-all a try, and I will let you know how it goes. Alrighty, now I have put up a big plastic protective sheet and I'm wondering if you guys have figured out what I'm going to do next. No, this is not an episode of Dexter. I am going to speckle these, and last spring I used this technique and I made so much mess. I was finding speckles for weeks, like even my iPad was covered. So I've used a little bit of gray paint with some water, and I like this brush for it, and I just flick. There's lots of different ways you can do it. Find what works best for you, but I like to use my finger on the end of the brush. I find it gets a really light speckle technique, and that's what I was after. I really love the way these came out, and I think I have a perfect piece of year-round farmhouse decor with these candlesticks. Considering where they started, they had a pretty good ending. Today I am doing a really fun collaboration with one of my oldest friends here on YouTube. It's Maria over at Artsy Cupcake, and I'm gonna let her jump in here and introduce herself.
Hi, I'm so excited to be doing this collab with Lisa. I just love all the projects she does on her channel. If you don't know me, I'm Maria from Artsy Cupcake, and every Friday I share budget-friendly DIYs, copycats of expensive brands, and crafting inspiration that changes with the seasons. I did 3 Trash to Treasure DIYs, so I hope you will head on over to Artsy Cupcake when you're done watching Lisa's video so we can start getting creative together. See you soon. Bye.
Now this one should almost be in one of my super quick, cheap, and easy DIYs because it's a 2x4 block that I started painting and didn't use anything for. And I have one of the Dollar Tree succulents and we're gonna make something fun with this. I'm gonna use what's left over of my homemade chalk paint we did a few videos ago and just give this a quick coat of the black paint. Now that that's dry, we're gonna finish this off really quickly. I'm just gonna take some of my Dollar Tree twine and wrap it around a few times for a little bit of definition on the bottom of the block. Then we're gonna go ahead and put the succulent right on top. I do end up putting it off just a little bit to the side, just to make it a bit more dynamic than dropping it right over the twine or right in the center of the block. And this piece is going to be finished. I really love the way this one came together. The black and the green I just find so striking together, and that little tiny bit of pink is beautiful. This is going on one of my tiered trays. I have a black painted kitchen cabinet door that I picked up at the Restore. I actually had 2 of these and I used one to make a fall sign like a year and a half ago, and I love these doors. So I filled the holes where the handle used to be, and I'm using the chalk paint that I made a couple of videos ago just to give this door a bit of a touch up, and then I'm going to sand it back for a nice smooth finish before we go to the next step. I went ahead and created a home decal on my Cricut. I haven't used it very much lately, and it was so much fun to do this. I really do need to do it more often. So the bottom part of my decal says, "Is our favorite place to be." And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been making a lot of home items lately. That's because I'm a bit of a homebody and I work really hard when I'm out. And when I come home, this is my sanctuary. Now I'm going to go ahead and peel this off, and using my transfer tape, place it carefully on the door. Now my workspace is a little bit small right now, so I had a really hard time making sure that that was straight. Looks like we did an okay job. Now this wreath has been kicking around for a while. I actually picked up 2 of these and they've never really had a home. So when I got this idea for this door/sign, I figured this was absolutely a perfect way to use up one of these wreaths. They are such a pretty shade of green and they've got almost a white wash over the leaves. I just love them. You'll see it in the close-up in just a sec. I used a piece of my favorite black and white buffalo check ribbon to attach it and just glued it on the back, and then this sign is done. Now if you wanted to, you could distress this sign a little bit, you could whitewash it, you could sand it back and get a little bit of wood, you could put some twine on it. You know what? You have to do what suits your decor. I was really happy with this product at this point, so I decided to call it a day. Neighborhood dogs. They don't care about YouTube. You guys, I am super excited to get into some more Easter DIYs, and I have so much stuff planned, it's not even funny. I work full time and putting out 2 videos a week is kind of crazy, but you guys are responding and I'm having so much fun, so why the heck not? Let's just keep on keeping on. I'm a sucker for a good, simple thrift to treasure. Now, I picked up this candlestick, plate, and cloche top at my restore. And the best part was the day I went in, I should tell you that each of these pieces was priced at $1. And when I went in, it was 50% off home decor. So I have literally paid $1.50 to do this DIY. Now, I will tell you that this candlestick had some hideous green paint on it. And when I took it to the kitchen to wash off the wax that was on it, all of that paint came off, and I didn't realize there was a fairly decent candlestick underneath it. So don't yell at me for painting it. What you can't see is all the crevices have the really yucky dark green paint, and no matter how hard I scrubbed, I couldn't get it off. So whereas I would have used a different candlestick if I could have got it clean, I couldn't, so we're painting it. Don't yell at me. Please don't yell at me. Now, once this was painted and I had it all dry, I went to use the Fix-All and hot glue to put it together. And guess what? The Fix-All did not work for me on this. I don't know what was different. I don't know if it works better on more solid materials than glass. Whatever the case may be, I did have to go back and redo it with my E6000 and my hot glue. Now, I will say that this Fix-All is really thin, so I don't know if maybe I just didn't get a great one, or it's just, like I said, better on certain materials and not so much on others. You guys can tell me down in the comments what your experiences have been. And just like that, this thrift to treasure is finished. I love the shape of this candlestick, and the plate is so pretty, and I'm glad that somebody donated this cloche top to the restore so that I could make this perfect spring DIY. I just added my cute little bird and a candle ring, and this one is done. Now, I have this rather interesting can I actually picked up at the restore with the intention of doing something at Christmas, and like so many of my ideas, I just didn't get there. Now, I did give it a good spray primer just to cover up that really intense pattern because I had a feeling that whatever I did over top of it would show through. So I'm going to use the black and white contact paper from Dollar Tree. I am absolutely in love with this stuff. Now, the way that I did it was to cut a perfectly straight line across the bottom and use that to match up on the bottom of the can. Then I wrapped it around, made sure I had no air bubbles, and then cut slices in the top to tuck it in. I used a piece of the faux leather ribbon back to back from Dollar Tree to create a really pretty handle, and I just rounded out the edges a little bit to give it a bit more detail. Once I had put my plant in, I decided I needed one more piece and I added it around the bottom. I am so happy with the way this one came out. It's amazing that a can that you might have been thinking to donate to a thrift store or throw in your recycling bin can come out so pretty and have a second life. And last but not least, this DIY is a Bath & Body Works candle, and so many of us have these and so many of us recycle them. Well, I never do. I tend to clean them out and hold on to them and then forget to do anything with them. So I am taking this cute little bunny that I picked up at Dollarama and some mini eggs, And has anybody else noticed how few are in the packages this year? I also have this really cute little candle holder from the Restore that I'm going to add onto the bottom. You may have noticed I've switched back to my E6000 and hot glue because after the fix-all didn't work on that one DIY, I was not doing it again. Nuh-uh, you weren't going to get me to try that again. We'll just stick to wood for that. So I did put this. Now I'm wondering if you're watching and going, why is she sticking that on the lid? Pay attention, my friends. I am not using this candle jar the way you may have been thinking I was going to use this candle jar. But first, this bunny needs a coat of paint, and check it out, I am almost out of this paint, which means I have to go somewhere and buy some. Now, I am using the chalk paint on him because he's a pretty shiny plastic, and in my experience, the chalk paint sticks. I'm using a really soft brush so that it doesn't tend to pull back the chalk paint that I'm putting on before it even has a chance to dry. Now, I wasn't crazy about the white. It wasn't exactly what I was going for. So I decided to mix up an extremely pale Easter spring blue, and I gave my bunny a second coat of paint with that blue. I love it. To me, that screams Easter, and it was pretty much exactly what I was looking for. Now, what I didn't get on film and I ended up deciding to do was I had a little bit of paint left on my brush and I speckled him too. I'm going to go ahead and create a base for him to sit on, and I'm going to use my little Dollar Tree moss stones. Now they're a little thick and my bunny won't fit in the jar quite, so I'm just going to smush them down with my hand, and smush is my official word for this because I am literally just going to squish them down till I flatten them out a bit. Turned out 3 was perfect, and then I'm going to take a few of my mini eggs, and I'm only using these because I can't find teeny tiny little Easter eggs that would fit in this DIY. So I am using, yes, edible mini eggs to do this. Do I get to eat the leftovers? Do the calories count if I'm DIYing while I eat them? Somebody answer me down in the comments. In the meantime, I'm going to glue my bunny in. We're going to put the jar on upside down, and I think we have a really cute little Easter bunny in a pedestal. I think this guy is absolutely adorable. I'm kind of in love with him, and Mom, even though he's blue, I'm not sure you're getting him. We'll talk later. I am so glad you guys stopped by today. I want to share a couple of things I'm working on. I'm about to jump into some more Easter DIY. I have some amazing plans for some good old farmhouse DIYs. And I've been working on cleaning up my studio space, and I'm finding all kinds of crazy stuff. And I'm kind of challenging myself. And I'm telling you guys right here and right now that I am going to do as many DIYs from my stash this year. Yes, this year. That's how much stuff I have in here. I'm going to challenge myself to DIY as much as possible from this stash. Now, I may add the occasional seasonal item, especially if we get something cool at one of the dollar stores. Other than that, I have so many thrifted treasures. I have the most ridiculous stockpile of Dollar Tree stuff and Dollarama stuff that I feel like we could pull this off. This brings a whole new level of meaning to craft your stash. So join me here on Lisa and Company. Make sure you've hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can follow along with this journey while I try to use up all this stuff in my studio of shame. I'm so glad to have you guys along for this journey. Thank you so much for stopping by Lisa and Company. You guys, don't forget to check out these other videos. Give this video a like and make sure you join us over on Facebook and Instagram for all kinds of other stuff from our crazy lives. Thanks again, you guys. Bye.